Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another VGY video, everyone. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today we'll be doing a how to fight Shang Tsung in MK11 guide. I know these have been very highly requested, and I apologize for not getting them out sooner. But honestly, I just wanted to do a bit of research before I release these, because obviously I want to make these a very good and consistent product for you guys to come back to if you ever need to, and make sure they're a resource that is gonna get the job done, you know. And of course, I've also been busy with WePlay. Thank you all so much for your well wishes and support when I was over there. I really appreciate everyone. It's really nice to see, and you guys are the best, which I always say, but it's so true. You guys are amazing. I love you. So let's start this how to fight Shang Tsung guide. So we're going to begin with basically, this video is just going to be short and sweet and cover basically everything you need to know on how to fight Shang. So in terms of his basic game plan, we have a few things to go over. One thing that I think is very key to go over here is his jump kick. Now, as you can see, Shang's jump kick is very good. One thing Shang can do to make his jump kick even better is confirm into Grand Eruption, which is a OS. So as you can see, if it gets blocked here, no Grand Eruption will come out. As you can see, the input is still going through. But the second I get hit, Grand Eruption. And this also works with Ermac Lift if we quickly switch to Soul Eater Shang, which is his variation of 3, but also Ermac Lift is actually very common outside of this, because obviously the introduction of custom variations have made it so that Ermac Lift can be used with other things. So as we can see here, if it hits, Ermac Lift; if it doesn't get hit, nothing. Now, Shang's jump kick is one that is very difficult to anti-air. I'm sure you guys would know this. And essentially, there's a way of countering this that will mean that you're quite safe. Shao is quite blessed in that his anti-air option for this jump kick is actually pretty good. He's one of few characters that has an anti-air that can sometimes deal with this. So if you see here, Shang doesn't really any jump kick. Shao can actually anti-air it. Very good to this. But essentially, the way that Shang's used this is that they jump kick extremely early, so that you as the defender have very little time to react. I'm talking like this early, which gives you very little time to react. So the way you're going to want to counter this is by using either duck tech for the jump in, because obviously if he does a jump kick really high up, you can duck it like that, and then try and punish him on the way down. Shao's jab isn't very good for that, but let go, block really fast. Obviously you can duck. You can also flawless block this if you have the right time, like that. You can react to the flawless block, press up 2. You can obviously anti-air if you're early enough, like that. I mean, this is just testament to how good this jump kick is, really. But you're going to want to lab this, because it's pretty important. This is a way that a lot of Shangs get their damage, because his jump kick is so abusable and so good. It's very easy to get hit by this constantly, and obviously he gets a bunch of damage by doing this. If I show you here, gets 22% with Grand Eruption, and with Ermac Lift he gets even more. Let me just quickly show you guys that. But yeah, Shang's jump kick is definitely one of the best jump kicks in the game, and one of those jump kicks where you have to be ready for. You can't just, you know, be willy-nilly and try and anti-it all the time. Sometimes you just got to take it, but other times, like the counters I've suggested here, you've got to use them. Because if you just try and anti-it all the time or do the same uniform strategy, you're going to get opened up. So here, the damage is so good. What is the combo again? I think I have to go for that too. So 26 for Soul Eater. So yeah. all of a jump kick as well, which is extremely solid damage. So yes, what your counters for jump kicks or for, but yeah, this is actually for good jump kicks in general. But Shang's jump kick, either flawless block. Oh my goodness. Flawless block like that. Good duck. Anti-air on reaction. If your anti-air is good enough, of course. Shower is one of those that has privilege. Or with something I didn't mention, if we turn on the frame data here, he's -1 here, right? So we can take our turn, you know? He's -1. So we can obviously down 1. But if you flawless block this, it's even more -6. If you don't want to up 2, you can just take a turn this way, right? Yeah, that's all on Shang's jump kick. Let me turn frame data on for both sides, actually. Another strategy, or another thing that's very common to see from Shang, is obviously his auto shimmy. Obviously his shimmy on block is -8 with pushback, so it cannot be punished by anyone, I'm pretty sure. I've never seen anyone punish his shimmy. However, one thing I do see a lot of Shang Tsung players get away with is 112, which is +6 on block, which looks like this. As you can see, +6, fantastic string. However, is flawless blockable? Becomes -4 on flawless block, so you can take your turn back, or obviously punish like this. Now the reason obviously that people would not try and flawless block is because obviously they get opened up by this. So if I try and go for a flawless block, I obviously get opened up. Now you'd think, okay, right, but I'll get opened up, I'll get launched. However, the way that you would get hit by something like this is that the Shang Tsung player would have to commit to 114 ground eruption or 114 soul lift, which is it's extremely risky to do, in that ground eruption is obviously punishable. And obviously flawless block second, which I will get into later, and punish it, right? Same with soul lift. Soul lift is even easier in that there's no flawless block execution required. You just kill him for doing it, right? So a lot of the time, Shangs are going to either go for 1-1, which is -2 on block. I can show you that too. -2. His shimmy is very good. So his 1-1 or his 1-1-2, which is obviously +6 with pushback, sets you full or mid screen, where he can start up his zoning game with, you know, fire skulls or ground eruption or corpse drop, depending on what he has in his custom variation, right? Warlock traditionally are going to be seeing a lot of ground eruption, straight skull, and corpse drop though. So a lot of the time they're going to go for this 1-1-2 because it is a shimmy. It will send you full screen on hit, as you can see here. Obviously sends you full screen, sets them up for his zoning. So do not let them abuse that. Try and flawless block one. After you see a 1-1, do not be afraid to go for a flawless block, because it will mean that it will make the Shang switch up his offense. You know, start going for 1-1-4 skull, for example, which a lot of good Shang players will do, because 1-1-4 skull is pretty good on block. And if you're not ready for it, do not duck the second skull. He's -8 with that pushback, but obviously duck the second skull. So yes, that's very, very important to look out for. Do not let them abuse 1-1-2. It is a ridiculous string if you do not try and counter it in some way. You have to try and flawless block it occasionally. It's okay to get opened up by a few 1-1-4s into skull, because it's not that much damage you're eating, you know? Like, if I block... Let me show you guys. So if I block 1-1 and then get hit by 4 into skulls, I'm not eating that much damage. See? Now, let's see if I flawless block his 1-1-2, how much damage I will get. My bad. See, I'm getting over 32%, you know. So it's definitely worth it to take that risk sometimes. Very, very, very important to make Shangs try and think about their offense, because 1-1-2 can be kind of a brain dead string. Just, you know, 1-1-2, 1-1-2, 1-1-2, 1-2, and especially in the corner. In the corner, it's even more deadly. So that's his shimmy. We've gone over jump kick. Let's go over his specials. I don't believe there's any more normals really. No, actually no, I lie. Forward 2-4-2, obviously flawless blockable. He's -6 on flawless block, so he loses his turn. But obviously you can go for a flawless block punish. This is pretty self-explanatory. There's not much to talk about here. The only way he can mix this up really is forward 2-4-3, which obviously if you try and flawless block, you'll get hit. But again, you're not taking that much risk. The last hit of that does not do that much damage, so do not be put off flawless blocking that. Also, back 3 up 4 is another string we should talk about. So this string is -11 on flawless block. Shao can reversal throw punish this, which is amazing. Obviously the damage he gets for this is insanity. Not even optimal here, and we're getting 48%. You can also interrupt him out of it, so you don't even have the flawless block. But I'd say if you want to punish this maximum, go for the flawless block, because obviously it's -12 and he cannot special cancel it or continue the string. Or -11, sorry. And you can see I was only getting at 35. You can also interrupt it, like I said. You can also get some really good damage with this. So pick your poison with this. The mix-up again for this is... But again, you're taking what, 7% there? So not much of a risk at all. So definitely try and flawless block that as much as you can. So that... Are there any more strings of his that I need to go over? 1-1-2, forward 2-4-2, back 3 up 4. I don't believe so. I think that's all the strings I need to go over. In terms of special moves... Excuse me. We will first go over ground eruption. So if we look here, if we just block ground eruption, it's -60, and shoulder does not punish. However, if we flawless block the second hit, it becomes -21, and maybe we can shoulder punish. Now this works with a lot of different special moves in the game. Liu Kang's flying kick, Johnny's shadow kick from certain ranges. Sub-Zero's slide, like a lot of different moves. Jackie's dash punch, a lot of different moves punish this. You can also do the far version of Hell Sparks, which obviously goes a bit further away. Obviously he is further away here, so sometimes moves like Johnny's shadow kick will whiff. Well, not whiff, sorry, like as you can see here. Sometimes the shoulder charge doesn't punish because I'm too far. So if the Shang is good at spacing this, obviously sometimes you're going to miss your punish. But do remember that this move is -21 on flawless block. So because a lot of the time I see Shang players do this and not get flawless blocked and punished for it by like flying kick, shadow kick, dash punch, shoulder, etc. They just allow the -16 health sparks, which are punishable. You know, some characters can punish it, like Liu, for example, can punish close health sparks with flying kick. Johnny can punish it with shadow kick. Jackie can punish it with dash punch. Sub can punish it with slide. But it's not practical to do that when you can flawless block it and really confirm the punish. So make sure you guys are flawless blocking that. Make sure you're making him die for every time he goes for ground eruption. Obviously, it is a ridiculous move in neutral. It's going to catch you out sometimes. But make sure you're putting that pressure on that Shang to be like, okay, I can't just ground eruption for free. This person knows what they're doing. This person knows how to punish. Other special moves we should look at are corpse drop. So as we can see here, corpse drop is -17. Obviously that isn't a punish because obviously it's a projectile, it's a bit different. But corpse drop on its own, if a Shang is ever going to try and do more things than corpse drop, so corpse drop into ground eruption for example, let me show you guys that. Let me quickly record that. Oh my bad, hold on, excuse me. Like that. Oh my goodness, I'm bad. Corpse drop. Oh my goodness, that's really weird. That hits like that. Obviously, you can put pressure on him. He can't do that. Can't do those kind of things. Obviously, when you're full screen, he can do that because it's you have a lot more distance to close in on. But on block, meterless corpse drop, definitely something you can easily counter. Be sure to move if you ever see him do meterless corpse drop. You know, wave dash in, use like a leap or something just to try and close in that distance because Shang does want you far away from him in a variation like Warlock. Another thing to note is that amplified corpse drop, you can short hop. You can also flawless block the second hit. Just to prevent more damage. It's also important to note, obviously, as corpse drop is something that you're going to be getting clipped on the way in, or clipped with, sorry. So it's good to flawless block to obviously reduce chip, or short hop to completely negate any chip damage additionally. I would say that short hopping is a risk though, because of what I just explained in that meterless corpse drop. When they try and do things after it, obviously you can close in. But, however, if you expect a... if the Shang player expects you to respect amplified corpse drop, you're obviously going to get hit by stuff like this. Because obviously they're thinking, okay, I've conditioned them enough with meterless corpse drop, so they're just going to sit there and block. So they'll begin to do stuff like this. So you're sitting there waiting for the amplify, and then you short hop, you get launched, right? So you've got to be wary of that. So obviously it depends on how good the Shang player is, but you've got to mix that up as much as you can on defense. MK11 is as much as about mixing it up on defense as it is offense. You've got to be unpredictable on both ends. That's how you're going to end up winning the game, you know, when it comes down to it. So that's ground eruption and corpse drop we've spoken about. Is there anything else that I've missed? Straight skulls, I mean, is pretty self-explanatory. You've got, you know, high projectiles, and then amplifies a double high. Warlock can triple amplify, or sorry, double amplify to get a triple skull, which is a mid at the end, which also has a KB. Not much to say about that, just your typical high projectile, honestly. I should go over actually Soul Eater options now. Of course, you know, custom variations are a thing, but I'm going over things that are very common that we're going to see. And Soul Eater has something I believe that is very, very, very key to Shang's kit now, which is Shake. Now, Shake basically makes it so that he cannot be zoned. Every time he parries a projectile, he gets a guaranteed 9% hit. If he hits this twice in a row, he gets a KB, which is 28% on its own. And also if he amplifies the Shake, which you'll see here, like that. He amplifies, sorry, he parries strikes, and that does 11%, the amplified Shake. Shake basically makes it so zoning him is impossible, and on top of his already good zoning and keep away options, Shake is definitely something you should be looking out for. So bear in mind you should be using variations. If you see Shang use Shake, of course, you should be using variations that do not have zoning as the first priority. So if I was Lu, for example, I wouldn't be relying too much on low fireball, because Shake would obviously body me in that scenario. But yeah, Shake is definitely something you should be looking out for. The way we're going to counter Shake is less projectile focus and try and get in and make that your top priority. Getting in, dealing that damage, because Shang isn't the greatest at getting you off of him, but he is good at area denial, zoning, keep away, you know, and with his jump kick definitely putting you in a position where you are the one that has to do a lot on defense, you know. But when he's on defense, he's not the greatest. But yeah, guys, I think in terms of strategies to defeat Shang, I think those are the main specials and the main things that I will say are useful to know in trying to combat Shang. let me know what you guys think, if I could have added anything more to the video, if there's anything I missed, if there's anything you guys would like me to include in future videos for different characters. The next character will obviously be Shao. I'll obviously be going in order of the character select. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to read your comments on this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.